Hello there, my name is Nitish, and in this video I am going to talk about middleware in Laravel. In order to understand this, first we need to understand route handler. So here you can see that we are having two different route with two different URI, and there is a route handler. So the first URI is home and there is a route handler, and the second URI is about, and which is having also a route handler. So handler looks something like this. It could be a closure. In the first one you can see we are returning a view, and it could be a method from the controller. In the second one you can see I am calling an index method from the home controller. So I hope that you got the idea what is a route handler. So route handler is a method which is being called corresponding to the route URI. So every route has a route handler. So when we will need this route handler? So when you want to do something before the request reach to the route handler. So like when you are not using framework, then you do not have any middleware. So at that time you can do the task without using the middleware also. But the middleware is something which will make your life easier if you will use that, and you can solve your problem without using middleware also. Middleware is just optional thing which will make your life easier. Understand this again. Middleware is an optional thing, but if you will use it, it will make your life easier. Okay, so let me make you understand. So suppose that if your boss came to you and told you, I want that those who are using our website on which day, not those who are, just record which page is being viewing on which day. Like on Monday this page is being viewed, on Tuesday this page is being viewed 52 times. You just have to record the number of times which page has been viewed on which day. Okay, so that at the end you can calculate some stats. And if you want to do this, so what you will do, you will go to each of your route and you will add a SQL statement for inserting a data in the database. Like this page is being viewed, and if you will see something like in all the route, you end up using writing the same code again and again. So this is the problem, and this could be solved using Laravel middleware. If you want to apply something again and again, you can use middleware. You can add the middleware anytime, you can remove it anytime. If your boss says that now I don't need this, I need something else, now I want on which time the page is being viewed, so you will go to all the routes and you will modify the code again. So this is the problem. If you are having a middleware, you can modify the code at one place and it will be get affected at every route. And this is a kind of thing which is being used or followed by the framework. Okay, so you can solve it using some other technique also, but this is a framework thing, and which is like recommended by framework to use middleware to do these kind of things. The second one is, suppose that your boss came to you and told you that our website doesn't work on Internet Explorer. So those who user are using the Internet Explorer, just show them a message, please upgrade your browser. So in that case also, for every route you will add a middleware, and which will check the user browser, and based on that it will decide if they want to show the web page or they want to show a message for upgrading their browser. The other use case could be blocking the web page for some particular area. Suppose I am from India and I want that my website should be visible in India, because my website is delivering the products, or my website is a shopping website, and which deliver the things across India only. It do not deliver the things outside of India. So in that case I will want that please block my website outside the India. So these could be the possible use cases, and you do not need the middleware every time. Suppose that if you are having a website which is responsible for showing 5 to 10 pages, and you do not want to get anything, you just want to show these pages to the user. So here you can see that I send a get request to the about, I get the about page. I do not want to use the middleware. So middleware is not anything like which you have to use mandatory. It is optional thing. If you need it, use it, else ignore it. So let me show you some place where you will definitely need it. Suppose that if you are having a website which is having a profile, settings and something like this, so a login user can see their settings. Those users which are not logged in cannot see settings, because settings is something which is corresponding to the each user. So first we will validate if the user is logged in or not. If the user is not logged in, then move the user to the slash. If the user is logged in, show the setting page. So you can see here that I am checking the authentication here, and this could be done in profile page. This could be done in some other page also. Like in many pages I will check if user is authenticated or not. So I can use middleware here because I am checking the authentication again and again. So I send a get request, it validate the auth, and based on that it return the settings page. If the user is authenticated, then it will return the settings page. So if I use middleware at this point, so the code will look something like this. You just see. Now whenever user request for the setting page, I am returning the setting page irrespective to user is logged in or not, because before coming to the route handler I am using a middleware which is being executed and checking if user is authenticated or not. So the authentication checking is done by the middleware now. So the middleware will reject the request of settings if the user is not authenticated. So now the flow will be again same, but now we are using middleware. So the request was rejected by middleware, not the route handler. So suppose same thing for the profile. We are having profile page. We validate the auth. If the user is unauthenticated, we will redirect to the slash, or else we will redirect to the profile. We send a get request, we get the page, it means user was authenticated. But this could be done using the middleware also. So now we are not validating or checking the if user is validated or not. Whenever user will request for slash profile, we will return the profile. Why we are not like bothering about the if user is authenticated or not? Because before coming to the this closure function, or before returning the view, the middleware had validated user is valid or not. If the user is not valid, in that case it is going to redirect, or it will not allow the allow it will not execute the route handler if the user is not authenticated, because the auth check rejected that request, and it does not allow to forward the request to the route handler. So middleware have capacity to forward the request to the route handler or return the request from that point only. So I hope that you got some idea like how does it works. So I will show you some